Hey, Joe, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, tonight's show is about one of the most bizarre kidnapping events in history, the abduction of John Paul Getty III. He was the grandson of J Paul Getty, the richest man in the world at the time. However, when Getty III was kidnapped and held for ransom, his famously frugal grandfather refused to pay a dime. The ordeal dragged on for months until finally, after a bloody, severed ear was delivered in the mail, J Paul Getty agreed to pay. But even then, he only paid part of the ransom and loaned the rest of the money to his son with 4% interest.
Quiet your mind. Ever since the earth has circled the sun, there have been fantastic tales of wonder and mystery that the faint of heart dare not discuss. But 3 brave, uninformed souls have the brass to tackle every extraordinary happenstance, from the modern age to the dawn of Mantis.
Welcome to Dawn of Mantis, true crime, mysteries, and more. I'm Ivan with Joe and Sam. And tonight's a special night. Why, Joe?
Well, because my daughter tagged along. My oldest daughter, Alexis, tagged along. She's sitting next to me. Hi, Alexis.
Greetings, everyone. It's me, Alexis.
But she's a guest, so she's not tagging along, Joe. Come on, man. I thought we were more professional. Here, we got a tag along. We didn't do that to Steve when he came by. Coppinger, we got a little tag along here.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's okay.
We have a featured guest.
There we go.
My daughter, Alexis.
That's way better.
Fresh from the emergency room just 2 nights ago, but glad she's back and doing well. That's a story for another time. Just know that she's okay.
Yeah. We're just going to leave that right there. We're not going to talk about it. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to start off this episode with a shout out. I have to give this shout out. I meant to give it last episode, but I'm doing it now. Okay, boys?
Do it.
This rad lady I work with named Katie. Oh, that kind of rhymed in a way. Rad lady named Katie. We can make a rap. Anyway, she's awesome. We were like instantly friends when she started working with me. She listens to this stuff. Can you believe that? I don't know.
Have you asked her why?
I did ask her. She didn't have a good answer.
Okay.
But anyway, no, she did. Thanks for listening. And I love to be able to come here and do this. And then I get reminded of the craziness at work too. And it, gives me a break from the craziness when, it's just cool to know that someone cool out there's listening. So there's at least one.
Hey, if you're listening to us, you're automatically cool.
That's right. I think so.
In my book.
Yeah. In my book too. Okay. We got a case.
We have a case. And as you heard in the really long intro there, it's a pretty interesting case. There's no mystery to this one. We know what happened. We know how it unfolded and everything. But just the callousness and the cheapness of old Grandpa J Paul Getty that we're going to experience. Pretty crazy story.
We'll have to mess with this guy for sure.
All right. We ready?
Let's go.
Well, to fully understand the bizarre story of the kidnapping of John Paul Getty III, we must first meet his famous grandfather, J Paul Getty, who was 4-time the richest man on earth.
Wow.
Okay, you know the old saying, you can't take it with you?
Sure.
Well, no one seemed to encapsulate that more thoroughly than J Paul Getty, the man who became the richest person in the world and yet was so famously frugal, he made guests pay to use the phone in his own house.
That's how he got rich, I guess. Probably just 1,000 of that.
Yeah, just long-distance calls.
No, I just mean like being that way.
Oh, yeah.
Like he probably just had a little bit of money and then he just ended up being a turd about everything and he got rich. Anyway, continue on, sorry.
He was born in 1892 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So old JP was definitely not a rags to riches case, Ivan.
Oh, okay.
He was born into money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what most rich people are.
I think so.
No, I know so.
Oh.
Anyway, continue.
There are a few rags to riches.
There are a few, but most often, no.
Nepo babies.
That's right. That's right.
Dang it. Why couldn't I be a trust fund kid? Dang.
You wouldn't have 1/10 of the personality.
No generational wealth left to me.
I get the other generational thing. But continue.
So his father, George Getty, was already a successful businessman and lawyer who struck oil in Oklahoma. The family eventually moved to Los Angeles, where young Paul grew up surrounded by ambition, opportunity, and soon enough, the budding American oil boom. Getty was sharp and curious, attending several universities, including the University of Southern California and UC Berkeley. before earning his degree in economics and political science from Oxford in 1914. He came home from England ready to make his mark, and by the age of 23, he did just that. He made his first $1 million drilling for oil in Oklahoma, where the people make meth in trailers, and they get arrested at Dollar General. And fist fight cops on TV. Oklahoma, that's for me. But
that was a fist. That was a punch. We could do a little bit of Foley artist stuff in here. Every once in a while.
Oh, my daughter's really laughing because can I say that you have a law enforcement type job in Oklahoma?
Yes.
So you see firsthand a lot of them. Okay.
She told us some stories on the way over here. We can't tell any of them.
No.
Just pretend we told you a really cool story right now. Yeah. The end.
There you go.
Well, not the end. The beginning of their prison career.
Yeah, I got to go back to work on Monday. So
there we
not
go.
the end.
Yeah, just the beginning.
Getty's story wasn't a straight line to the top. He was ambitious, ruthless in business, and absolutely obsessed with deals. But also, he was cautious and patient. When the Great Depression hit in the 1930s, while others panicked, Getty saw opportunity. He began buying up oil companies and assets that had bottomed out in value, playing the long game when few others could afford to.
That's right. That's, you got tough times for everyone except for the people at the top. Then they're just scooping up crap. Like for next to nothing.
Yeah, that's why. So at the 2008 housing bubble bursting thing, that was a huge shift of wealth during that.
Sure.
Also during the COVID insanity.
Yeah.
Major shift of wealth in that and vanishing middle class. And
yeah, for sure.
Well, the move that truly cemented the Getty empire came in the 1950s when J. Paul secured a deal to develop oil fields in the neutral zone. So this is a disputed area between Saudi Arabia and Kuwait.
You're not talking about Star Trek, are you?
Yeah.
Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah. He cheated.
I don't know.
Change the conditions of the test.
Yes.
I didn't cheat. Oh, Kirk was a slippery one.
Oh, yeah.
By the 1960s, J. Paul Getty was officially the richest man alive, with a net worth exceeding $1 billion.
Wow.
As I hold my pinky to my...
That's right.
Which is like 70 trillion billion today.
Trillion billion. Old TB.
But here's where the story takes an odd turn. For all his wealth, Getty was notoriously cheap. He installed a payphone in his mansion. I talked about this earlier. So guests had to pay for their own long-distance calls.
Sure.
And this insane frugality is what made the events that we're about to unfold all the more strange. All right, so J. Paul Getty was a big fan of the ladies also. Lifelong womanizer. By the time the dust had settled, he had married and divorced 5 times and had 5 children, 5 sons. They were all boys. The offspring that pertains to today's story was John Paul Getty Jr., born in 1932 by J-Dog's 4th wife, Anne. I slipped that in there. Did anybody?
Yeah, no, totally.
Okay.
It's great. You keep going.
I thought you were going to do Dizzle at first.
Jay-Z Dizzle. I'm far too old and white to even
Jay
pretend.
Dizzle?
Yeah. Yeah. Just is rough. John Paul Getty Jr. is who eventually fathered the subject of our story, so we're coming on down the lineage here, which is John Paul Getty III. We're just going to call him Paul to get any confusion out of the way.
Got it.
He was born in November of 1956. So Getty Jr. headed up the Italian division of the booming Getty family oil business in Italy, obviously. So Paul grew up in Rome. In 1964, his parents got a divorce, and although Getty Jr. and his new gal, Dutch model Talitha, I think, Pol, P-O-L, spent the rest of the 60s running around Morocco and Great Britain, Paul remained in Italy with his mom, Gail. As Paul grew into a teenager, he began hanging out in Italy's underground scene, which was filled with everything from artists, beatniks, and poets to left-wing radicals and even criminals. He soon befriended a set of German twins named Gisela and Huta Schmidt.
Twins, Basil. Twins.
Nice. She brings so much already.
I know.
You
I'm
were
telling
hired. Great job. Welcome aboard.
Thank
See
you.
you
God
next
bless.
Although they were 7 years older than him and barely spoke English, the three quickly became thick as thieves and even got an apartment together. I'm strongly suspicious that there was some kinky, weird German three-way weirdness going probably, but what do we know? I don't know. He did end up dating one of them later, so I'll say that. Meanwhile, Paul's father had married that Dutch model I was talking about, Talitha Pol, and the pair had dove pretty deep into the 1960s drug culture. A little bit too deep because old Talitha Pol Getty, at that time, she died of a heroin overdose in July of 1971. And shortly after, John Paul Jr. fled the country to escape a litany of drug charges. It's easy to see that despite the endless amount of money surrounding the Getty family, there was no guidance or even a moral compass to set their behavior by. Young John Paul III, Paul, was no exception. Being a Getty, he'd been admitted into several prestigious private schools, but the boy had no academic ambition whatsoever. Instead, he elected to play pranks and cut class. In early 1972, he was expelled from St. George's British International School in Rome for painting offensive graffiti in the hallways. He was a rascal. You're a rascal, potion seller. Sorry, I don't know who will get that other than...
No, I got it.
You and Lexi got it for sure.
I said 1,000,000 times.
I want only your strongest potions. I'm about to go into battle.
You have your phone, Joe?
Yes.
Read the Snoop Dogg thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I sent it over to you.
Okay, do I have to read it?
Yes.
In my old man
No,
white
you don't
voice?
have to. You get to. Think of it that way.
All right. Slide on through with the homies, Joe and Ivan, longtime partners in crime, the legal kind, you dig? As they cruise on a hilariously laid-back expedition through the wild world of true crime. Since way back in 2002, these two players been cooking up comedy bits and skits together, perfecting their own funky, fresh vibe. With their producer and co-host Sam holding it down in the sound booth, the trio rolls deep into mysteries, music, history, and whatever else pops off. Always with a twist of that smooth comedic seasoning.
Whatever pops off. That's actually good.
I'm reading this way cooler than I thought I would, too. According to my 23andMe, I am 0.000002 sub-Saharan African, so...
Yeah, we're hearing it right now.
I'm summoning that.
You are.
Joe and Ivan's banter keep it light, even when the subject matter gets darker than a midnight lowride. What? But...
Hey.
I picked up on it. I know what they're talking about.
Oh. But they always be keeping it respectful, for real.
And it says faux.
For real, yeah. Their code, the victims ain't never the punchline. Nah. They clown the perpetrators, y'all, calling out all the irony slip-ups and puns along the way. So buckle up, kick back, and get ready to laugh, cringe, and contemplate the funky mysteries of the human mind with Joe, Ivan, and Sam on Dawn of Mantis. You heard?
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
After that, Paul just sort of floated around Italy for a while, hitting nightclubs and living a nomadic bohemian lifestyle. Also, as many aimless, bored teenagers seem to do, he became an activist for whatever the fashionable cause of the moment was and attended many of the protests going on at the time. I stand for current things.
And I'm against what everyone else is against.
That is the thing. A lot of like lazy trust fund kids work.
Yeah.
A lot of lazy trust fund kids just like need some meaning or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what Paul was doing at the time. And he also spent his days painting and making jewelry, which he was able to do pretty well. He sold it on the street for extra cash. And I've seen some of he's actually pretty decent. So
Okay.
by this point, he'd largely been cut off from his famous family's wealth. His mother had divorced Getty Jr. years earlier, if we remember, and he barely even knew his famous grandfather. To make some more extra cash, Paul appeared in an Italian nudie magazine called Playmen, for which he was paid $1,000. The equivalent of $7,300 today. So it's like, do you want to sell your soul and put a picture of your junk out into the world forever for $7,300? No. The other guys are like, no. That $7,300 would be spent so fast, and then guess what? Your junk's in the world forever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, OnlyFans now, so...
Same with them. I'm like...
But they're making millions.
Some of them are making millions.
Well, yeah.
You know how many girls do that and they make $87 and then they regret it for the rest of their life?
I know a few people that are on there.
They
Oh
make
my God,
tens
you
of
do?
dollars.
It's more common than I thought it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you need is a phone.
But that's scary.
and an account.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, do you know how many people, like they do that and then a year later they decide they want to be, you know, a dentist or something?
Right, yeah. It's the whole thing of just like, oh, I can just make quick cash doing that, and then you don't.
Yeah.
But all your stuff's out there.
But your stuff, literally all your
Yeah.
stuff is out there
Because,
forever.
I mean, even if you delete it, somebody's probably
Oh,
screenshot
yeah.
it
You
or
know
screen
it.
recorded.
But there's a few
so-
people that can get away with doing really, really obscure stuff. Like there's probably someone out there that's like, just send me a video of you stomping on a cake with your
Oh,
bare
yeah,
feet.
for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And like
that, yeah.
it's nothing inherently sexual, and they just make millions of dollars.
Yeah, I can't even blame you. Yeah, that's like...
Cakestompers.com.
Exactly. Exactly.
People got weird fetishes.
Yeah. Can you send me a picture of you holding a lit cigarette between your toes? I'm like, what? I guess. Yeah, I'm going to get $50.
You came up with that way too quick.
Hey, Sam, let's not make that the thumbnail for this one. Just in case you were thinking of it.
No, I think a foot smashing into a cake should be the thumbnail. That'd be pretty funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
But not the cigarette one.
No.
That's where I draw the line.
So Paul also appeared in a few movies, and we can look those up later. He was usually an extra, which didn't pay that well. After this whole kidnapping thing, when he was returned, he was actually in a couple more movies. Maybe a co-star, I'll say. He was like the major player in a few movies.
Oh, wow.
Which is, yeah. So right here is where the situation starts to get confusing. So according to Gisela Schmidt, she was one of the German twins that he was dating, Paul, according to her, he had hatched a plan to stage a kidnapping and then keep the ransom money for himself and fellow conspirators.
Wow.
Before anything ever happened. So how serious Paul ever got about this plan is unknown, but he did abandon the plan once some more modeling gigs started coming in, and that's true. Trust me, the kidnapping was real. No one didn't think, you heard in the outset there at the beginning, they cut his freaking ear off. Yeah. Unless he was such a psychopath that he's like, it's worth $2 million, just cut it. I'll bite on this rope, cut my ear
Reminds
off.
me of Lebowski. You want an ear by the end of the day? I'll get you one.
I'll get you an ear.
They're amateurs. Yeah, you're right. That'd be extra.
Did he send the ear back in a box?
Yeah, the ear was sent to them.
It was sent?
Yeah, they sent them the ear.
Why else would you cut an ear off?
Wasn't say you could break into a morgue or something.
Yeah, but it was Paul's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was totally Paul's. Well, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, he tries to hatch this plan where he's going to kidnap himself. Kidnap yourself, man.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it originally. Yeah, that's what got me on it. Yeah, that's why I was thinking about the ear thing. But yeah, continue.
Okay, yeah. But it seems that, after he gets these modeling gigs, and he's like, I don't want to do that anymore, guys. But unfortunately, he had, conspired with a few pretty shady characters originally to hatch the plan. So when he backs out, a few of them apparently were like, no, we kind of still want to do this, even if the kidnappee is no longer.
Well, that's Fargo.
Oh, God,
because he tries to call it off.
That's right.
And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, Fargo is such a great
and he can't
movie.
get a hold of the guys.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they had already done it or something.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but it's fantastic. I only knew because I watched it just the other day. About every year or so, I watch that movie.
Yeah. So during the early morning hours of July 10th, 1973, Paul was hanging out in Rome's famous Piazza Navona. Well, I don't know what that is, but that's where he was.
The accent helps.
Mario.
Thank you. It's the me, Mario. With a Belgian go-go dancer he'd recently met. As the pair were dancing, Paul was suddenly and violently grabbed by several armed members of the Italian mafia. So he was grabbed, stuffed in the back of a car, and driven 300 miles south to the city of Calabria. That has to be it.
Yeah.
There, they locked him up in a cave. That's all it was just a cave. I don't know. They put him in a cave and sent a letter to his mother informing her that her son had been kidnapped. And if she did not want him to be killed, she needed to send $17 million. And that is the equivalent, no lie, of $120 million today.
Golly, that seems greedy. That's a lot of money for a kidnapping.
It is.
What year was this again?
73.
Golly, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. But this is the Getty family who has, the richest family in the world.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? They're probably like, they're good for it.
I don't know what the going market is on kidnapping.
Ask AI.
I would never ask that much.
Hey, AI, what would you charge for a good old-fashioned kidnapping?
Yeah, is that?
I'm not allowed to give that away. It always freaks out when you ask, oh, I'm so sorry. I asked you a political question that wasn't a political question.
Yeah.
I fight with my AI sometimes. But you know what? I still love AI. They might take over one of these days.
Oh, they will. Gail informed her son's kidnappers that she had no money. She'd divorced his father 9 years earlier, and she had no access to the Getty family's wealth. In desperation, she called John Paul Jr. to see if he had the money. He didn't either. In fact, he'd been disinherited by J. Paul Getty sometime before. The kidnappers didn't seem surprised by this, and their response revealed whose money they were really after when they replied, just get it from London. Of course, they were referring to the big dog himself, J. Paul Getty. They wanted his money. They also made it very clear not to involve police and not to make the kidnapping public. Gail immediately involved police and made the kidnapping public.
That's kidnapper rule 1. Do not tell the police.
Okay, yeah, she immediately did. She alerted the Italian police, and word that the grandson of the richest man alive had been kidnapped spread like wildfire. By July 30th, the kidnapping was front page news, the headline reading, "Getty boy victim of cruel terror ransom." To be totally honest, many in the Getty family had serious doubts about the validity of Paul's situation. He was a notorious prankster, screw-up, and the blackest of several black sheep in the family. He'd even joked openly about orchestrating his own kidnapping to grab a quick chunk of the Getty family fortune.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah, they weren't crazy to be like, sure. You know?
But I mean, they're right. It was the Fargo thing I said earlier. It's like he was going to do it and then talk to some people and then they just went in and did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is responsible.
Yeah. Overall, he is. Even though it didn't work out very well for him.
You got yourself kidnapped.
Yeah. Well, still, there was lingering concern about Paul because he was just 16. Let me remind y'all, he was only 16 years old at this time. And there always was that small little possibility, what if he wasn't, you know?
Yeah,
yeah. What if he did?
Yeah.
What if this is for real?
I wonder if the kidnappers were still planning on giving him his chunk of the ransom.
And I don't think so. And we'll get into it in a little bit. Man, they start treating him like really bad. It's really bad. Like he was messed up for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Because of what happened.
Well, yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't expect like a kidnapper to be like, listen, I'm a kidnapper, but I'm also a man of my word. And when I say something, it stands.
Yeah. I only saw 1 or 2 episodes ever of Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen them all.
Okay, well, the one where the bald guy in the underwear, whoever he is, what was his name?
Walter White.
Walter White. He's in there, and he's just been like...
Heisenberg.
Yeah, Heisenberg.
That's how little I've watched it.
Yeah, you watched like the very first episode.
He's in the den of these bad guys, and they bring out the little meth maker kid that was always with them. What's his name?
Jesse.
To bring out Jesse, and the moral of the scene was this meth guy who's about to kill Walter White. Walter calls him a liar because he had said something about Jesse working for him or something. And he's like, I'm no liar. He's like, bring him out.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to settle this. And so
I remember that.
Everyone has their line. Like he's very comfortable with, he probably owns the fact that he's a meth head and a drug dealer and a murderer, but he's not a liar.
I mean, I said that, but I guarantee you there's people like that in real life to where, yeah, I'm a murderer, but I'm not a liar.
Yeah.
Like you ask me, I'll tell you I murdered him because people they draw weird moral lines in the sand.
Like in prison, it's full of people that's like, I may have murdered a guy for a watch and $12, but if a pedophile comes in here,
yeah, for sure,
he's dirt. So finally, with his head held low, J Paul Jr. approached his stingy father and asked him for the ransom money. Said, my kid has been kidnapped. We're pretty sure.
Sure.
We need $17 million.
Yeah.
J Paul Getty replied with a firm, no, if I pay 1 penny now, I'll soon have 14 kidnapped grandchildren.
I mean, there is some logic there.
Yeah.
Because, then the word would be out, oh, man, this guy's got so many grandchildren, richest guy in the world.
Even if it's not the same kidnappers, like other people.
Oh, yeah.
Be like,
Sure.
You'd have to hire a security detail to go around with them.
You would.
And that cost you the $17 million.
Yeah, so he's just like, well, just one grandkid lost.
It reminds me of Ransom with...
Mel Gibson?
Yeah, Mel Gibson, where he's like, I will not pay.
We do not negotiate with terrorists.
And then he said, instead, I am offering this as a reward for your cap. You remember that?
Incensed at his frugality, Gail went to the press where she shamed her ex-father-in-law for refusing to pay to save the life of her son and his grandson.
It's smart because then she's like telling the kidnappers, like, I would have the money, but he's such a, cheapskate.
Yeah.
He won't cough up the 17 mil.
So you can kill my son, but just let him know that it's not because of me.
Well, I just kind of figured maybe the play is like, don't kill him. I'm working on him, Then I'm going to publicly shame him. And then maybe he will give the money.
Yeah, because I feel like the kidnappers, they're not going to kill him because then they have no chance of getting any money.
Right.
So they're just going to keep him.
Exactly, yeah.
So there's no benefit to them killing him.
Not at all. Nope, you're killing your only leverage.
And then I wonder if like later on you could say, well, I got 10 million from him. It's like a marketplace negotiation.
Yeah, like the longer they wait, the less they're willing to settle for.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
They could message and be like, is he still available? No,
Yeah.
then they like ghost him.
Are you interested? No. That's exactly what happens, though.
What's
they
your
start
bottom
negotiating.
dollar? Wouldn't it be
Yeah,
funny?
like at the beginning, he's brand new. Then like he loses an ear, lightly used. Slightly tarnished.
Yeah.
Slightly tarnished. That's
But
awesome.
it's funny. You guys hit it right on the head. We'll get there really quick. Meanwhile, back in Calabria, Paul's treatment at the hands of his captors was quickly growing from bad to worse. He was not allowed out of his cave, but was given a radio, decent food, and fairly hospitable treatment, as kidnappers go, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But as the days wore on and the Gettys refused to pay up, Paul's captors grew increasingly angry and violent. They took his radio, stopped giving him food. Guys, they'd even killed a bird that he'd befriended.
Oh, man.
He'd befriended a bird and made a pet bird in there, and they killed him. As they grew more frustrated, they began playing psychological games with Paul, and on at least one occasion, they forced him to play Russian roulette.
Ooh.
Yeah. They also began to beat him on a daily basis. Then in November of 1973, 4 months after the kidnapping, a package arrived at the Italian daily newspaper. It contained the severed ear and a bloody lock of hair of Paul.
So wait, they forced him to play Russian roulette, so what would have happened if the gun went off and he killed himself?
I bet you there was not a bullet in that gun.
Yeah, maybe not.
There's no way. It was just psychological thing. I don't know why the first thing that came to my mind was Monopoly. I was like, they just forced him to play hours and hours of Monopoly. That's psychological torture to me.
And they're like, you only
It
get
is.
Marvin's Garden. We get everything else.
That game is not allowed in our house because it will shake my wife and I's marriage to its very foundations. I mean, it's not good for us to play. You've been there, Lexi. Well, you've played games with us.
I usually start off by telling everyone, like, this game is the most fun if you actually trade and sell things to each other. It gives everyone a chance. But there's only certain things I want. And then when I get what I want, no deals. That's the way I played, and that's the way I played for years.
Yeah.
And it works really well.
Yeah.
Every single game that we play turns into a death battle, like badminton and phase 10. We went through our poker phase.
Yep. And
Cutthroat.
It gets cutthroat. It gets nasty.
Yeah.
So we just can't play games at the house. That's what we're saying.
Mm-mm.
But Monopoly always ends up with my wife owning the whole damn board and me like pleading,
He's homeless.
please. And yeah.
You land on the 3 red hotels.
How does it happen every damn time?
Well, if you give me all your railroads,
Is
I'll
she
let
the
you go by
banker?
for free. Good point, Sam. You got to watch who the banker is.
She
They'll
usually
lift.
is the banker, isn't she, Lexi?
Yeah.
Man,
That
if I'm
woman.
not the banker, I'm counting right along with them. I don't trust anyone in my family to be that banker. And I've been the banker, and I promise I don't steal. But I'm like, hey, wait, $300 payday. What in the heck's going on here?
Yeah, Monopoly usually ends with you sleeping on the couch.
To recap, the daily newspaper in Italia gets a severed ear and a lock of hair, and it contained a note that says, "This is Paul's first ear. If within 10 days the family still believes that this is a joke mounted by him, there will be another ear to arrive. In other words, he will arrive in little bits. We'll send hundreds of his ears." No, they didn't say that, but
That's why I say they're going to run out eventually.
they're going to run out of ears. You can send 2, then what, huh? That crossed my mind too. This is his first ear. The second one's coming soon. So they also reduced the ransom, like you guys suggested. It's like, what if they haggled? So the first amount was $17 million. In this note, they dropped it to $3.2 million.
Wow, that's a very substantial drop.
It really is.
That's a substantial drop.
I always said it was a high ransom anyway.
Yeah. Look, you're going to get at the most 3.2 mil out of this guy.
I mean, it takes the resale value down when you have an ear gone.
Yeah. Well, back in Calabria, Paul's health had quickly deteriorated. The wound from his severed ear had become infected, and he had also come down with pneumonia. To treat these issues, his captors, who were just idiots. I guess the Italian mafia has no medical training or even the slightest understanding of medicine, because they loaded him up with like heroic doses of penicillin. Like a little bit would have been good, but I'm talking like thousands of milligrams.
Is the Italian mafia still around?
Well, these particular guys are maybe not. Now I understand what you're saying, and
They're probably nice now.
I mean, I doubt that they're listening.
I don't know about that.
we have listeners in Italy.
Yeah.
We have
actually
listeners
do.
in Italy. I've seen the algorithm. It's okay, not the algorithm, but the what is it called?
Statistics.
The
Cut that.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, remember a couple years ago where there was that one brief blip where we were like in the true crime podcast genre in Italy on the charts? I can't even remember what set it was. We were in the top 20 just for like a week. It must have been a fluke or something.
That was our one-hit wonder week.
I guess because I remember I
That
screenshotted
thing you
it.
do or whatever.
I sent it to all you guys and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I do remember that.
It's very weird.
We should have went on a tour over there as soon as that happened.
So yeah, they just start packing him with penicillin, and his body, believe it or not, reacted violently, and he actually developed an allergy to penicillin from that.
Wow.
That's what it said. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to consult a medical professional. Would that make you create an allergy to it, having too much of it? I don't know. But that's what the story says. So they're like, forget penicillin. No, that's German. What's Italian? Forget the penicillin is what they said. And they just started loading him up with gallons of brandy, just drinking tons of brandy.
It's an antiseptic.
Is it really?
I don't know. Alcohol is, isn't it?
Yeah, they would pour it in his ear hole and then make him drink it. And then they just gave him a cocktail, whatever pills were around for his pain. Really messed the guy up, in all seriousness.
Yeah. He probably could never listen to that Brandy song either because he got too much of that. She's not a fine girl.
You're a fine girl.
She makes me sick.
What a good wife you would be.
No one else is thinking Brandy as soon as you said it.
Yeah, I mean, it crossed my mind. But my love is
Fantastic.
my lady. I didn't know until 5 minutes ago that guy is white.
Oh, I didn't know that until 1 second ago.
Yeah, it's a white dude. Look it up. Looking Glass. That's the name of the band. All white dudes.
Cool.
But he sounds like a black dude.
I never ever thought that.
You never did?
No.
No, I kind of assumed he was white.
Yeah.
Am I the only person that thought he was a black guy?
No, I did.
Okay, thank you. So we're divided. House divided. 50-50. So poor Paul, right? Too much penicillin. So now it's
Too
just
much Brandy.
Too much brandy. And this went on for weeks, guys. And soon he developed an addiction to several of the substances. Gee, I wonder how. After seeing his grandson's severed ear, J Paul Getty's heart grew 3 sizes that day. No.
You're a mean one. Amazing.
He finally agreed to pay part of the ransom. Here's the deal. At the time, and he looked this up, $2.2 million was the maximum tax deductible amount. So that is what he decided to pay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, it works 2 ways. You get your boy back and you don't have to pay taxes.
What would you
There you
write that off as, though?
I don't know. I see when I typed that, I didn't type.
The kidnapping provision in the...
Oh, there you go.
no,
That,
sorry.
obviously. Or I don't know, I don't know. I have no idea.
Hey, rich people have a way to get out of taxes.
Oh,
They had a million ways. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably something.
Some sort of charity. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the other $1 million, there was $1 million left to be paid. So he agreed to loan that money to his son, Paul Jr., who was Paul's dad. He said, I will loan you the other $1 million at 4% interest. You got to pay me back. And then you have the 3.2 to get your son back.
And that was probably market rate. I'm sure if he looked up the other thing for the tax, he was like, I'm going to give you a loan.
Like in 73, 4% was.
Send me your credit karma, and I want to know what your credit is, and I'm going to give you your rate on your kidnapping.
Yeah, under 700.
Oh, if it's
we're
under
off.
700, no, he's dead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not getting him back.
R.I.P.
I mean, that could have been what happened.
Can't give a loan to a 640.
Well, on December 15th, 1973, 5 months after being 5 months, by the way,
In a cave. No
Yes.
bird. Killed his bird first month.
killed his bird, took his tunes, cut his ear off, made him be drunk all the time. 5 months later, Paul was found at a gas station outside a little town called Loria.
Wait, what about the drop?
They paid. Now, I didn't see a lot of...
Yeah, logistics of that. That's what I'm wondering.
I didn't see that. So almost every story I read was it focused more on the 2.2 million was the tax deductible amount. He loaned the other, and then it was paid, and then they found Paul.
Yeah,
But
that's
nothing about
always,
how it was paid,
No.
where they met.
No, I'm sure we can find. Yeah, we can maybe find that out. But yeah, I didn't see a lot of
any ransom thing I've ever heard of. That's the tough part. Like, how do you get it?
right because they're going to be watching because that's when you have to show up and grab it. Like the guilty party has to be at that place.
In Speed was the great one because they cut the hole under the mailbox. Sorry, spoiler. That was really cool.
It's over 10 to 15 years, so you're good.
You're good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll spoil one more thing about that movie. If you think they're going to jump straight across a bridge at 55 and you don't think they're going to make it, they make it. And the 2 bridges are level.
Yeah.
And that thing catches some air, man. That always drove me crazy. When you watch the credits at the end of that movie, one person of power didn't look at that and be like, listen, guys, we're about to make a thing jump and defy. I mean, it's okay if movies kind of bend.
A city bus.
Yeah.
A city bus.
Yeah.
That thing would have dropped off the edge of that like a
They
rock.
should have had something where there was like a car thing like pulled over. Or,
They did an episode of Mythbusters about it also.
Yeah, they did. I can't remember what
Yes.
happened. I know it wouldn't make it.
It failed,
I mean,
surely.
yeah. I used to have Hot Wheels and I used to make them ramp, so I understand the physics of that very well.
Yeah.
I was just think they could have done something. They could have had like, there's like construction works and there's a big pile of dirt. I mean, they could have done something. It's lazy.
The only more
Come on.
dramatic bus jump in cinematic history was in Spice World. If anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Never seen that
no.
movie.
But go on, I'm curious.
Well, there's 4 listeners that know. It's hilarious. They're on a bus, they're about to jump something, and then it goes, and obviously that's the joke. It's a toy bus on a little, and it just, you'll have to look it up. Just look up Spice Girls, Spice World movie, bus jump. And it's hilarious, all right?
So, wait.
Thanks to my
why-
sisters for making me watch
Okay, I was
that.
going to say, why do you know this?
I had 4 sisters growing up. So, well, 2 growing up and then 2 later on. But
We're
4
going to
sisters.
ask them, and they're going to say, yeah, Joe wanted to watch it. We hated the Spice Girls.
He won't shut up about Scary Spice.
What's Beckham's wife? That went,
That's posh.
oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway,
Oh, somebody,
about as much
somebody
as I know
knows their
about
Spice Girls.
Well,
there we go.
I know pop culture.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he does.
All right. Posh, scary, baby, and
Ginger.
old.
Old Spice.
There's like a lady that's like 90.
Meta, my son.
Old Spice.
Now he smells like a man, and they treat him like one. I love that commercial.
You sent that to me. You mailed that or you whatever. You messaged
There's
that
an
to me.
awesome video. I love it so much. It's where the mom is like following her son around.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. It's
Yeah.
great marketing. I love your marketing team. You should have worked for the Speed movie. You wouldn't have made that stupid mistake. Anyway, continue.
Well, so I picture another movie, to bring up another movie, Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Like when they find Travis Walton, he's like naked by the telephone booth or whatever, and it's outside the gas station. I
Yep.
kind of pictured that in my brain when they said they found Paul. It took weeks for Paul to finally recover physically,
Sure.
but he never fully recovered mentally. The psychological trauma from his months in captivity had left permanent scars on his psyche. 9 kidnappers were soon identified, including Girolamo Poramale.
That's why they asked for so much money.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
You got to
them.
split it 9 ways.
How many people does it take to kidnap one person?
I mean,
At least 9.
one guy to watch the cave entrance, one guy to kill the bird, one guy
That's
to
stupid.
make him
That's
drink.
too many people that are going to the talk.
Saverio Mamalati, that was another one. They were high-ranking members of the, I'm not even going to try to say that word. It's just a crazy Italian word. But it was an Italian criminal organization based out of Calabria.
I'm sure they're nice people, though.
Oh, yeah, they're going to not kill us for this. No, they'd have to kill a lot of people. This freaking story's been reported on by literally everybody.
Okay.
2 of the kidnappers were convicted and sent to prison, but the others were acquitted for lack of evidence, including the bosses. Most of the ransom money was never recovered. Oh, I bet a lot of it was given to, prosecutors to leave them alone, probably. Or a chunk of it, anyway.
Sure.
Paul attempted to move on with his life. At his mother's insistence, he called his grandfather to thank him for paying the ransom. That's the last thing I would have done.
And what did he say?
J Paul Getty,
Humbug.
they said, Paul's going to be calling you. This is no lie. He refused to take the call. He was pissy for having to have spent that $2.2 million.
You went off and got yourself kidnapped and cost me $2.something million.
Yeah, I'm not even picking up the phone, buddy.
But wait, it was a tax-free loan, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
But he still had to go to the trouble of doing it.
Maybe Paul called collect, and he was like, nope,
Nope, no more from this guy.
can't afford that.
I deny the charges.
After being arrested, Paul reignited his relationship with the German twins, mainly Giselle, that was his girlfriend. She became pregnant, and 5 months later, the pair got married. 3 months later, their son, Balthazar, was born. And yeah, everybody looked at each other. In 1977, Paul underwent extensive plastic surgery to have his ear rebuilt. And I'm not really sure how they did that, especially in the 70s, but they rebuilt an ear. In 1981, he appeared in a film called The Territory. This was a Portuguese philosophical horror film about 2 American families who resort to cannibalism shortly after getting lost on a camping trip in the south of France. That same year, Paul landed another role in a German road trip film called The State of Things. So he tried to be a movie star, Although from the outside, it appeared that Paul was coping remarkably well with his post-kidnapping life. In secret, he was still struggling psychologically. He and Giselle had added a second child to the family by then, and they moved to New York in 1981. Once there, Paul fell into the underground art scene, as well as the crowd associated with Andy Warhol. We all know Andy had some weird people floating around him.
Yeah.
Unsavory characters. With this lifestyle came a return to drugs and alcohol and the party life that he used to indulge in Italy. But Paul was not a kid now. He was a husband and a father of 2 young kids. Giselle quickly grew tired of her husband's antics, so she packed up the kids and moved to San Francisco, leaving him completely to his own devices in New York City. Not good. In late 1981, Paul took a dangerous mixture of Valium, methadone, and alcohol, which caused his liver to fail, as well as causing him a severe stroke that left him quadriplegic, partially blind, and unable to speak. He would never fully recover from this, and he was in a wheelchair and required full-time care for the rest of his life. Paul was 25
Oh my God.
at the time. Just 25. Right. Speaking of that round-the-clock medical care, that ain't free. It's very expensive. His mother, Gail, didn't have the money. Here we are needing money again.
They call Grandpa.
Yeah, I bet they didn't even try to call Grandpa this time. Stingy old
He
bastard.
wouldn't pick up anyway.
So again, she approached J Paul Jr., the son of J Paul Getty, to help pay his son's medical expenses. So here's the deal, guys. J Paul Jr., at this time, he was receiving $20 million a year from a family trust. $20 million a year. So you think he wouldn't mind helping out, paying for his son's medical expenses?
But he's got his daddy's genes, so probably
You don't stay rich by being gracious.
Yeah, it's very, there you go. That's a good
quote.
I want that on my tombstone. Get rich or die trying. You don't, yeah. But you guys nailed it right on the head, because my next line read, it seems that Junior had inherited his father's stinginess because he refused. He's like, no, I ain't paying for that. So, at first, an uncle stepped up to cover the cost, but Gail soon took J. Paul Jr. to court and sued his ass for $28,000 a month to make him pay for the son's medical bills, and she got that through. So, good on mama.
That's kind of strange, though.
How would you win that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because, I mean, legally, it doesn't seem like, even though it sounds good, but legally, yeah.
What were the legal grounds we would have to? Yeah, because this is
you
an
have
adult.
to help your son that's an adult.
I don't know, guys.
Maybe she was owed that money some way and she got it, and then, I don't know, maybe it wasn't even about that.
I don't know. I just read what the articles say. Might not even be true. Might be bullshit. Hey, someone out there that has a little bit of time on your hands, look that up. Let us know. I didn't do it.
Yeah, we want to know, but we're not interested enough to actually look it up ourselves.
People listening are like, oh, the podcast is giving me homework now. It's bullshit. I just want to do easy listening.
I have to go watch Spice World. I've got to do research on this story.
Yeah, I'm flunking that homework because I'm
After this episode is over, I want Sam to pull up that scene. You guys will laugh your asses off. All right. Although it is unlikely Paul ever fully reconciled with his father or his grandfather, towards the end of his life, he did begin to spend some time with his dad at J. Paul Jr.'s lavish estate at Wormsley Park in Buckinghamshire. Oh. In fact, that is where John Paul Getty III passed away on February 5th, 2011, at the age of 54.
Man, he lived a long time.
He did.
What a horrible life that guy had. Seriously.
Okay, but a lot of it was self-inflicted.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
If not all of
like
it.
a lot of that
Yeah.
was his own fault.
Most of it was, but it was still horrible. Yeah, he's the one that got into drugs. He's the one that got into the...
He also staged his own kidnapping.
But when he get kidnapped, how old was he?
16.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say that he did something when he was 16 you're 16, but still, it's tough. I mean, you're right. He caused a lot of his own stuff. You're right.
What 16-year-old has access to the Italian mafia?
Well,
I guess you got to
that's
be a
true.
Getty, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that young because, it was saying that he was messing around with some shady people. How does he have access to these shady people at 16?
Yeah, because at 16, he basically almost emancipated himself and was living with hot German twin girls.
Yeah,
And just
exactly.
in the Italian underground,
Man, Europe's different.
But, he's still 16, so obviously there's a lack of some parenting,
oh, yeah.
and because it had to start before that, it didn't just start when he's 16. Probably since he's 12 years old, he's probably just doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And his parents weren't reining him in. It's the answer is always pretty complicated. It's not so simple.
But look at the story that made Bert Kreischer
The machine
what he is.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
He goes over to Europe and then has this whole story, and what he was college age then.
Sure.
So
It's just sad to think that your frontal lobe's not fully developed till you're mid-20s or something.
Yeah.
It's sad to think that just a decision you make when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 would affect you for the rest of your life because
Hey, if
you're
you're
just not done
16
cooking yet.
And you're able to drive a car, you're able to plan your own kidnapping.
There you go. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No, it's dumb. I mean, he caused a lot of it himself, but I mean, you still got to feel for the guy a little bit.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll say, I'm going to wish you a happy early birthday, Lexi, because just a couple days after this thing comes out, you're going to turn 20 years old.
I know.
Wow.
My little baby girl's 20 years old.
Someone
over
put me in
here.
a home already.
Hey, don't stage your own kidnapping.
I won't. I mean, I'm a little bit too late for that. I'm not 16 anymore.
you're well past 16. You
Well, your
wouldn't do
parents
that.
are broke too, so.
Yeah. Maybe 4 years ago, but not anymore.
That's such a 4 years ago thing.
Paul's story is a depressing display of greed, neglect, and abuse. It certainly goes to show that money ain't everything and doesn't guarantee an easy, pain-free life now, does it, y'all?
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is some people are so poor, all they have is money.
Yep.
And I love that quote so much because I like to think about it when rich people do stupid things and vile things, not really just stupid things, vile things. Anyway, continue on.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
That is the story
Wow.
of John Paul Getty III, the crazy kidnapping story. Yeah.
Man, what a crazy roller coaster.
Just
of
a
life
really
that dude
depressing.
have.
Oh, my God.
I wonder where they bypassed the dad and went straight to the grandpa to ask for money.
I don't think the dad was getting anything yet. I think he got that 20 million trust later.
It must have been because, initially, the dad was like, well, I don't have it yet, you know? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
very weird. There's a lot of details in there that are really weird.
Sometimes their parents, rich parents, will set up this thing to where, when you're 25, this thing matures and you start getting paid on it because they kind of feel like by then they should have some direction in life, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Like give it to them when they're 16.
Oh,
That's not good.
dude, if I would have been given $1 million at 16, it would all be gone by now. And
Exactly, yeah.
I would have a field full of old cars. So actually, that would have been amazing. I wish that would have happened. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't even know what I liked at 16. What did I like? Why don't we? The boy band?
Yeah,
I
you-
would have just been on tour with them.
you would force them to perform for you constantly all the time. Is that who you made us go see with you?
Yeah, that's the concert.
And Ivan and you and Mariah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the concert. That's the legendary
You guys
half-sold
got
arena.
you guys got on the big screen.
We got on the
and
Megatron.
we didn't even. And
Well,
we
you
were the
did,
ones.
but not for very long. I mean, everyone knew it was two dads pretending to be having a good time. And we were having a good time, but pretending to like the band.
Totally
So
pretending.
whenever we did peace symbols and biggest Why Don't We fans ever, that's what we put as a hashtag.
Yeah.
I mean, people loved it.
Yeah. It came
Every
up.
time it came up, the crowd would
I know, we
erupt
were
and
so
laugh.
angry. We were like, this is supposed to be for us.
Our dads are up there. So that is the story, the incredibly depressing and sad and convoluted and weird and strange and stingy story of the kidnapping of John Paul Getty III, right? Yeah, the third. There's three of them. Thanks again, everyone, for listening. Thanks, Alexis, for sitting in with us.
Yep, very fun.
And 7.5 years, 8 years, first time my daughter's been on here. That's crazy. How'd that happen? But anyway, so thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Good night.
In the shadow of the pines they speak, whispers rising where the lost ones peak. Joe's got the facts that keep us informed about true crime, mystery, and so much more. Friday morning, the curtains torn. Truth and myth in the Ozark morn. It's a remedy for too much time on your hands. Just take a little listen to the dawn of Mantis podcast. They got murders, vanishings, cults and cold hard lore, aliens and Bigfoot knocking at your door. In the dark of the woods, the stories hide. Disappearances where secrets collide. tales begin. Every corner a whispered name, echoed cries.